All right, y'all.
We're back.
We're back. We're Black and White Randomz podcast. I'm T, aka Sky.
This is
This is
Trish.
anyway. Um, if y'all see fur flying, it's because the cat shedding. Well, one of the cats. Anyway,
Y'all know she's always fun. You can hear her in every
yeah. For y'all listening, we have two cats, and they just
video. The one is clingy
roam
and the other
around.
one does her own thing.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, Trish, you know it's the part where I throw you a bunch of random topics. If you guys have not been here before, this is how this goes. All right, so Mykayla Skinner on critiquing Simone Biles' teammates and innately also criticizing Simone Biles. That's how I felt about it. How do you feel about it?
She should have just kept her to herself. I really think she had to have known that saying that was going to be a firestorm.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no way she didn't know
My thing is, don't cry wolf. Don't be that chick. Like you say what you said out there, big and bold on all your
that.
little platforms.
Because right, and then my thing is after Simone uh posted her picture with their medals, she going to talk about Mykayla said something about I clearly have a lot of trauma I've never unpacked because she's like I never went to therapy and did all the things and my era of gymnastics y'all were being abused.
Your era of gymnastics, as if, and my thing is, she did try to like segue and leave Simone out of it at first, but it was almost like y'all had the same
I
coaches
mean, you
to a
can't
certain extent. Y'all trained at the same time. Y'all went to the Olympics at the same time.
you almost can't leave her out of that comment.
So it's just like,
Y'all went
dog,
to the
like,
Olympics together. You can't leave her out of that. That is not a comment that can
no.
avoid
And
her.
whose fault is it that your goofy butt didn't go get therapy?
True.
And then you gonna sit up there. What it sounds like to me is you're jealous that you're not in the current era where they are being mentally abused. And it's not to say that some of them still aren't. Like you're not in that current climate. They're not being
She's
trained as
not being
hard.
protected.
Uh,
Like I don't know, but
they're not being pushed as hard. Like that's the sport where you have to be pushed as hard. Clearly, they was pushed hard enough to win the all around gold for a team. So
right.
I
Yeah,
mean, clearly
I don't I don't I don't even think she had good intent behind that. Like I don't think that was
she
one of those moments
didn't.
where the
She wanted to
public
go in there ranting and raving.
yeah, I don't think that's even one of those moments where the public took something and ran with it and misconstrued it. I don't feel that way. I think she knew what she was saying and I think she meant it the way she said it.
She absolutely
And
did.
she's trying to double back on it now.
Mm-mm. No,
Yeah, no.
absolutely not. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, and now she's like pleading with Simone Biles to ask her fans to chill out.
And that's what I'm saying. Like now you backpedaling.
Right. No.
Mm.
No. I
Oh
mean
my
as
gosh.
quickly as
Basically, she's the new internet Karen. She's the younger version though.
as quickly as social media gets upset about these things, they do eventually let these things go. She just got to ride this one out because I don't think Simone should ask her fans to chill on this one. I don't think she should address it directly at all because she never officially said anything. It
No, you
was,
made a blanketed statement.
right, and the statement just happened to apply. But yeah, no, I don't think she should.
My thing is Simone stood up for her teammates. That's
Yeah,
what she did.
she
And
should,
you
as
got
she
pissed
should.
off about it because you thought you were fitting to come at those girls and nobody was gonna have their back, is what you thought.
Right, that
Yeah.
was a big mistake.
It sounds like it's jealousy that you at your current age still can't do what Simone Biles is doing.
No, I mean she's got a kid now.
And and
Michaela
my
has a
thing
kid now.
is it's not even like she had my thing is this. I guess she felt that she had a X amount of years of experience on a professional level to be able to judge these young women and like 5 years of a gymnastics career.
I mean,
And
I'm sure it was much longer than that, but like the
I don't even think it was much longer than that either. Like, ma'am, stop it. 5 years of a pro career, and like if that's how you felt about it, that's fine. But what it really came off of, it came off like you were hating because you didn't go and then seek the amount of help they did. You didn't hop on the whatever. I guess I'm not gonna say they had a bandwagon, but like those girls all chose to come out and speak up at a
Yeah.
specific time. And you, whatever traumas that you had, decided that I can deal with it on my own, or I'm gonna soak in it now to this Olympic season, and I'm gonna say, hey, anyway, we're gonna let her
Mhm.
goofy butt go, and we're gonna move on along because she's still on the internet crying and begging Simone Biles fans to stop harassing her. Uh, you probably about got and social media time. You got a couple more weeks till it die
Yeah,
out.
it's something that's gonna happen,
Let it
but
go,
you're gonna have to ride it out. There's
ride
really
or
not
die.
much you can do.
Basically, like you had to ride that one out,
Nothing you
sis.
can do about it.
Sorry.
You gotta wait.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I'm gonna give an example of what I'm talking about here because there was a whole story that I
Okay.
was watching online earlier and it kind of made me think.
Okay.
So the question actually is chivalry dead? But let me preface this
Okay.
with a story. Okay. So there's a Florida man online, right? And as we all know, if you live anywhere on the East Coast right now, we are going through hurricane season. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of storms and this, that, third, whatever.
Yeah.
And we have a big storm that's coming up the East Coast from Florida this week. So, with that being said, there's a Florida guy who he's at the gas station. He stops. It's raining, it's pouring down in Florida. We all know that they're going through like whatever hurricane it is right now.
Right.
It's yeah, I think it's W there on
Yeah.
D. So he said he needed to put air in his tires. He gets out, put air in his tires. He sees that there's a woman that then pulls up behind him and she needs to put air in her tires. And he walks up to her and asks her, hey, like, would you like me to? You can stay inside your vehicle. I'll put air in your tires for you, whatever. He says, literally, after he does this for this one lady, he's like, he was like, I kid you not, four more women pull up directly, like one behind the other straight into to get air in their tires. He
Yeah.
said the issue that he had with this is he was like, one lady had a kid in the car with her. She's about to get out and put air in her own tires. He told her to stay in the vehicle, like he like take care of that.
Right.
And he was like, it's no way in hell that all five of these women, including the first one, was single. He was like, I
Mhm.
feel as though it's no way in hell. He was like, it's no way that
Mhm.
all five of these women out here single like this. He was like, men in society, there's no way you got your women out here putting air in their own tires. And it got me to thinking, like, dang, that is kind of crazy because my dad would never let my mom do something like that. Granted, he showed me how to do it
Mhm.
just in case I had to,
Right.
in my single era out here in these streets. But he's right. Like it's crazy. But you go ahead and give your opinion and I'll say what I'm gonna say. And
Right.
it's not all men. It's just enough percentage of men
Yeah.
that makes it look or appear to be this way in today's current
Yeah.
society. Go ahead.
Um, like I said, I think it was 2 podcasts ago. I have a father who had all daughters, so things like that. I've been taught never to count on someone else. But if I am in a relationship, right? Oh, you're going to do those things. You now it is required that you do those things. If you don't know how, we can show you how. But like there are some things that I just feel like are like men should be doing, and that is something that putting air in the tires, putting oil in the car. I'm not going to expect you to change my brakes or rotate tires, but you can change a tire. Like you should know how to do that. These are basic skills that
Hmm.
everyone should have. I think men and women should know these things. But I don't think if a woman is in a relationship and with that man at that time, she should be doing these things herself.
No, but I feel like we're in an era of men saying that women in this current day and age are not feminine enough, but
I
you
thought that
won't
too.
you not find a woman in her you're not helping her to get there and feel secure with you if you can't do something as simple as going to put air in her tires.
Hmm.
Let me tell you something. Most women will be as feminine as you want
Yep.
if you actually are really a masculine man.
Hmm.
There there are men that get into relationships and I get I get with some men are like where the argument is like they get in a relationship or they start dating a woman, they start seeing all these masculine like traits. So then like they head for the hills. But my thing is not realizing that you have the wounded like feminine or women that have to be in their masculine so they don't know how to balance it out or whatever. Like that's gonna happen.
Right.
But you cannot then also in the same breath say, "Oh, she too masculine. I'm not going to pump her gas for her,"
Yeah.
or whatever. Like, not to say that that's everybody's like situation, but like you have a bunch of men claiming online right now that women are too masculine in this area, but it's like you're not even allowing her that space to be feminine
Right.
either.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but
Um,
that man was right.
he was definitely right.
Yeah.
The mass majority of men out there right now are like this to a certain extent.
Yeah. And I mean I say that, and also while I had a father
Within a
who
certain
was
generation, let me put it that way. Within a
right.
certain generation,
While my father is very much that, like yours was, you're not doing that if I'm there.
right?
My mother was also very, I can do it myself and I will, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you want to. So there are circumstances like that, right? Because that was very much my mother. Cut her nose off to spite her face. She taught us all how to do it. We're all very good at it. But it is something that within your relationship, if you're going to do it yourself, that's fine. But does he know how to do these things if you should not want to, or if you don't feel like it, or if you can't one day? Like, you can work together on things like that that might be traditionally more masculine, because it's nothing to me to, if we go stop, put air in the car, I'm hopping out the car to put air in the tire. That's because that's me. That's, I can do it. I don't mind doing it. But if I'm with a person I'm dating, I might be able to do it for us, but I also need to know that you can too. Like, I kind of have maybe more of a even split mindset on it.
Right.
But he should know how.
He
Like,
absolutely should. I mean, or at least take the time out to learn how to do it.
right.
Because I also understand that there's men that don't have like manly figures or
Right.
whatever. But in this day and age, you can learn how to do anything online. So have at
Mhm.
it,
Yeah, have at it.
or get your homeboy Uncle Earl or somebody to help you out there. But
Right. Your
you
local
know,
your local mechanic shop, they'll be happy to show you some of those things. Not like the chains, the little local ones, the ones run by your
they
grandfather.
will.
Yeah,
Because
they'll be happy
my
to show
thing is
you.
this: you also got that toxic male that's like, oh, but you guys cried for equality, and I'm like, what does my femininity have to do with equality?
But y'all still don't want to clean
Because
the house.
y'all, my thing is this: they act like a lot of those masculine things that we have to do
Like, we
when
want
we're
to.
single, that we want to do them.
We don't want to do a lot of
Like, no, this is not how that works. The equality portion of it wasn't about us trying to be a man. Like, let's get that straight.
no,
Absolutely not. That was single women who basically had to do everything, crying about them not having equal pay and things of that nature. I get it
yeah. And there
to a
was
certain extent.
there
Yes, I
was
get
a
it.
there was a time too where it was flat out illegal for women to do some of the things that women had to push to be able to do. Women couldn't open their own bank accounts. Women couldn't drive. Women couldn't do a lot of things that, when we pushed for those things, y'all were like, y'all can have all of it. We weren't pushing for everything. We just wanted to be able to go vote and
No, see, my thing is,
get our own
they're
bank
extreme
accounts.
feminists now that make it
Oh, there
like,
are extremes. Yes.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, and y'all do it
They
too much
push,
for them.
like, my thing is this: the new feminists push against femininity.
Yeah.
Period, point blank. I can't get with it. That might be a conversation for another
Yeah.
like
It
episode or
might be.
whatever. But I could dig deep into like
Yeah.
how they are pushing for women to be more masculine. Is
Yeah.
essentially what it is. And the one example I'm going to give, and we can get off this topic after this.
Okay.
There is, I mentioned a couple before, probably a couple episodes ago. The chick that had like the shorter haircut,
Okay.
whatever,
Yeah.
yada yada yada, and her man.
Yeah.
So I watched them quite a bit, and literally the video that blew them up on social media, I believe, like, he's a southern gentleman, so they made a video, and they do like a lot of skits and skit based things or whatever, and she
Okay.
made a video just to like show like, hey, to the guy's point, chivalry isn't dead to some men.
Mhm.
So his thing was, he's a southern gentleman. He was like, you better not open that door, but it wasn't like oh my god, like I'm man, you woman, like type vibe.
Right.
Like it was
Yeah.
just like, no, you know better. Do not touch your door. I'm opening your
Yeah.
door.
You shouldn't be opening your own door.
Like when you get in, I'm closing the door behind you. Do not
Yeah.
touch my door. Like type deal.
Yeah.
And the way he said it was, yes, it had a masculine tone to it, but yes, she also in her feminine was receiving it.
Right.
And you got the Lord have mercy, these extreme feminists. I don't like the way
You
the
can't
tone
tell
he
me what to
used with
do.
that you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and this why your ass is single. This why you out here still doing the dumb stuff that you doing. Cause like if that man wanted to open and close your door, let him open that's something simple.
Right.
Like it's so extreme for some of them that they don't even want anybody to hold the door for them in public while
Mhm.
they going and enter. Like you're doing too much.
Yeah.
I'm my own
That's a
person. I
little
can
too
do it
much.
for myself. You know what? Well, you keep right on ahead doing things for yourself
All
and
by
see how
yourself.
you end up. Like,
You do it all by yourself.
so it how I see it is, man, you might as well go ahead and go date that woman that you get ready to date because ain't no dude fitting to put up with that attitude that you got like that. Either that or he gonna step back and be his feminine. Now you really gonna be dating
Yeah.
uh somebody
Yeah.
that you didn't want in
He
the
gonna be
first
in your
place.
feelings
So
now. Big in your feelings.
let that go. Anyway, moving along. So next topic. So
Mhm.
I do have something that I do want to read to you, whether you know what it is or not,
Okay.
because some of the viewers might not or listeners.
Okay.
So the Madonna Complex. Do you know what that is?
I feel like I've heard of it, but no. I don't.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish reading the full question I had, and then I'm gonna read you the definition. So the Madonna Complex. What is it? Is it responsible for why men cheat in a committed relationship? Question mark. Leave that there. All right. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pull up this definition
Okay.
because you know I had to go screenshot it.
Yeah.
All right. So the Madonna Complex. In psychoanalytic literature, a Madonna whore complex, also called a Madonna mistress complex, is the inability to maintain sexual arousal within a committed and loving relationship. First identified by Sigmund Freud, who called it psychic impotence. It is a psychological complex that is said to develop in men who see women as either saintly Madonnas or debased whores. Men with this complex desire a sexual partner who has been degraded in apostrophes whore, while they cannot desire the respected partner, the Madonna. Freud wrote, where such men love, they have no desire, and where they desire, they cannot love. Clinical psychologists wrote in 2009 that the complex is still highly prevalent in today's patients.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I learned multiple ways. Let me read it real quick. I read
Mhm.
fast, y'all. Hold on. Go ahead. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Go ahead and start. Cause
I thought I read that slow for you.
well, no,
So,
I learned hearing and seeing.
okay,
Yeah.
so
It just helps me to see it
in
too.
short, if you're gonna sum it up, it's literally a man who, when they love their woman or they view her as being a saint, like somebody that they could wife up, basically, they have no sexual desire to be with her. But the woman that they can basically treat like a whore, they want her all day long,
Really.
sexually, right?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
right
Hmm.
now, with that being said,
Now, what that you I haven't heard. I studied psychology when I was in college. I haven't heard that. I didn't study that.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, my thing is, do you think that that is the reason why men cheat in a committed relationship?
It could be part of it.
I
It could
think it's a very small
absolutely be part
percentage
of
of
it.
it because I feel like you still in control.
Yeah.
But I also feel like if you do have this complex, you need serious therapy.
Yeah, you absolutely need therapy because that's basically saying you can't love the woman you sleep with and you can't sleep with the woman you love. Yo, like,
Doing too much.
like,
Doing too much.
are
Like,
you?
and I feel sorry for any woman in society, which is probably most of us, who have dealt with this man and didn't know you was dealing with his crazy ass.
Right.
Um, I just really feel like you need help because my thing is this: why would you marry somebody that you aren't sexually attracted to?
Right.
And
Right.
then my thing is, in your mind, you think that you're tarnishing that woman because that's essentially what it is. But you can go out there and do every dirty little nasty whatever it is that you have in your mind as a fantasy. You can do this to some woman that you do not know because you can dissociate yourself from this woman.
We're gonna have to. I'll have to tell you who I'm talking about later. But we know someone who fits that description
Oh,
from the
ting.
place I just mentioned. If you think about who I'm talking about, I'm not going to say nobody's name.
Okay.
As soon as I say the name, though, you're going to get it. But yeah, I think I know someone who fits that description. He can't stand when he's with a woman who's experienced, but he also doesn't like a woman who doesn't know. So like he analyzes and picks at every single relationship or interaction she ever had to the point where she can't deal with him no more.
Mm.
So he wants to idolize like she's perfect, she's in perfect condition, but he doesn't want someone who knows anything about
I feel like it's
bedroom
like the
activities.
trophy wife experience,
Yeah.
but like
Mm,
without the benefits of a husband who can afford a trophy wife, right?
right.
So it's like, look at this beautiful shiny thing that I have over
Yeah.
here,
This goes up on the
but
shelf. This is my ornament, to be polished and cleaned and sit there and never do anything with. But then this is the thing that I can take out the house. No. No, no. Also, keep in mind, anyone who doesn't know, for anything Freud related, any theory he ever came up with is going to tie back to sex in some type of way. So everything with Freud is always sex related. But
I mean,
that's
it's a
interesting.
natural biological thing. People,
That is
whatever,
very
and
interesting.
it is, but it's also wild because it's like,
Like, what would the diagnostic process even be for that? I wonder if that's in the DSM. Sorry, though. I wonder how do you even arrive at the point where a therapist, a psychoanalyst can diagnose you for that? That's crazy.
I mean, I feel like it would be
Mm.
evident based on certain questions that you ask. And
Mhm.
also if you're obviously if you're in like some type of therapy that's like a couples based therapy, certain
Right.
things are going to come to light. You
True.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like even if it's not di- directly within the couples counseling portion of it, it could be
Oh, it's probably gonna come up
in the
yeah, of course.
individual
Oh, absolutely.
and it's gonna get diagnosed
Mm.
because to the normal person, you sound absolutely crazy.
Right.
My thing is the reason why I ask this is because there's a guy who's almost like a relationship type counselor or whatever. He's kind of like gained a lot of popularity online. He helps out a lot of men, he helps out a lot of women.
Right.
And I'm not gonna say that he tried to use this as an excuse for all men, but he basically tried to say like this is an excuse for like this is literally something that some men do. Like they do this. Um
I mean,
and
even if
my
they
thing is
say they
this,
do or not, it
I
doesn't
feel like that's a
excuse it.
small amount of men because regardless of the fact, you mean to tell me if your wife or the woman you claim you love was down to do some things that you not finna do some things. Now I
Right.
will say that some men when they love a woman, they are not about all the foolishness that comes behind it. Like they don't want their women, out there presenting themselves certain ways. They're not trying to get into certain activities. They're not trying to add additional whomevers to the bedroom and all the other stuff. Like I can get that and I can
Yeah.
understand that.
Right.
um, but for you to make that be one of the main excuses for why men cheat, no. If a man gonna cheat, he wanted to cheat regardless.
Yeah.
Whether he went into the relationship knowing he was gonna cheat, which most of them know whether or not they interested in you like that, anywho, or or they have a history of just being a serial cheater or whatever it is. Like, and I
You're
feel
right.
like that's just not subject to men. That's subject to anybody that wants to cheat.
Yeah.
Like, if they want to, they're going to.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that could certainly be a factor, but I don't think it can be tied to the sole cause of anything of any type of cheating. It could be a factor in, certainly, but not the sole cause of. No. Y'all not getting an excuse in
Mm-mm.
the easy path like
Nope.
that. No.
All right.
Okay.
Now we gonna pass this topic and go to this next one.
Okay.
All right. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna leave a blanketed statement and then I'm gonna let you answer and then I'm gonna go more in depth on this topic.
Okay.
Men with dreads or locks, because you know they trying to move away from dreads and start calling them locks.
Right.
Question mark. That's a yes or no.
I don't have no problem with
So the thing is,
it. Uh huh.
this chick had like a theory, and these women got to talking online
Uh huh.
about this topic. And how I feel about it is, you like what you like, excuse me, and that's just is what it is,
Uh huh.
right? For me personally, I could see where the chick was going at with this conversation.
Okay.
Most, not all, most men, preferably the dark skinned ones with dreads, the little chocolatey ones that these women want, the long dreads and the muscular build and the this and the that, and
Right.
whatever else. They all a lot of them follow the same types of patterns when it comes down to dating black women in particular. I can't speak for them dating outside of race or any of that.
Right.
They they pretty much, when I tell you, a lot of them act like they the prize. A
Hmm.
lot of them have complexes about most women liking them and already knowing off the bat before they even step foot in our face. Some of them have more of the feminine ways about them than masculine. Not necessarily that they are feminine, they possess feminine like qualities. Um And the more she got to talking about it, the more it kind of started making sense. Because at some point they got fetishized. And I hate to say this, but it is the truth. They had their little era of being super sought after for a while.
Hmm.
Um, and in general, it led to another topic about wounded black men and how they date and signs and patterns amongst black men.
Hmm.
And to be honest, it brought up another topic about specifically dating black men and black men's habits. Um, there are certain ones you'll see certain patterns in, and I feel like, it is what it is. Like, you either gonna decide you're not gonna date them at all, and you're gonna let them go on about life and find ways to heal themselves, or you gonna deal with whatever traumas they got coming in. And that's not to say that black women we don't have our traumas, because a lot of y'all out here got very specific traumas from very specific things that happen in your life. Um, but it was just wild to me that they kind of like debunked that, because I was just like,
Hmm.
yo, that's crazy. I would have never even thought about it that way.
Right.
But I don't know, the whole locks dreads thing. Like, I feel like after some of y'all dreads is a little bit rough for my skin. Um,
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a difference between like maintain maintaining them. Like have maintaining them is one thing. Like if they're maintained well, and that's one thing. But I never would have. Maybe it's me not being part of the community. I never would have thought about it like that. I think about it more in the lines of like when I look at someone, am I yes or no based off of the appearance? Because I have never had an experience of any kind with a man who has locks or dreads. So
I don't know. I'm one of those, like, cause she was very adamant about her not dating anybody with dreads. And then she went as far as to go braids. She was like, if you're not clean cut, I'm not dealing with you. And I could
mhm,
see that being her preference.
yeah,
And she
certainly.
was like, and that's not to say that some of them don't have specific things that I noticed after a while. Cause she was like, I pretty much just put myself first because I can't trust none of y'all. Cause that's how I felt about it.
Mhm,
Which alludes to the fact that this chick even has even bigger issues within herself, because
right,
I get it that you already just told us that you got trust issues with men, period.
right,
That's basically what you said in a nutshell.
yeah.
Specifically black men.
Mhm,
Now, based on how she was speaking, I'm going to go as far ahead and say is that she's either never dated outside of her race or she has no interest in it. That's it.
Mhm.
Which means that she's pretty much gonna be alone for a long time based off of how she's going about things. Um,
But the
and I'm
good
not
thing
saying
about
don't
it is always
protect
just put
yourself.
myself first. Yeah, you probably are.
Um, I'm not saying don't protect yourself out here because
Yeah,
there are a lot of conniving people that like to play mind games
yeah.
and in our new favorite term, we have a lot of people that are there you go. They're narcissistic.
There are real narcissists, and then there are play narcissists.
Yep.
Y'all gotta learn the differences. Narcissism is something that should be diagnosed. It's not just something you can throw around. Um, but you have to seek that diagnosis yourself. So you may know someone is a narcissist, but if they're not diagnosed, technically you can't fully claim it. But
I don't know. Trust me, we know a lot of people that are undiagnosed.
we sure
Um,
do.
and we're gonna let that go.
Surely do.
All right.
Mhm.
This a blanket statement.
Okay.
First thing that comes to your mind about it.
Uh,
Tipping etiquette.
man, I've been seeing this online. Servers always tip, but people like are doing this whole fast food workers now are they're asking for tips at like
Oh, for the carry out.
cash registers and stuff.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know how I feel about that. But then like people are like talking about nail techs who are now including I actually saw a video earlier. This the nail tech she has her tip included in her prices already. Like she's already factored in what you should be tipping her. So when you go to pay her, you're
Mm,
already tipping her. So anything extra is just an extra tip. But
no, you
I don't
might lose
know.
out on getting tipped extra. Mess around with me, you do something like that. Why? Because don't think that don't assume
That you're not going
that
to.
I'm not going to.
But yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to tip higher than whatever the heck you had on that paper anyway.
Yeah.
Majority
Yeah,
of the
she
time,
does she's good.
for the restaurant, I usually stay around the 20% range for the waiter, or the bartender, depending on where I'm sitting at.
Right.
Um, but I will put it to you this way: if they are really good, then I will increase their tip. That's usually how that works. The nail techs, listen, you add something onto my bill that I didn't approve yet. We because how we putting gratuity on
Well,
some nails?
particularly the one with the nail tech, she said when you booked with her on her website, if
Hmm.
you actually go through her price list, it's all there, but no one checks.
First of all,
So
it's not
they're
even
just
about that.
looking
I
for
knew I wasn't
whatever.
going to you no way, so don't even worry about it.
Right.
Don't worry about it, because how you add gratuity to nails?
Yeah, I don't know. But then my thing is too, like that's such a US problem because apparently over in like Italy,
Your period.
you will
No,
offend them if you try to tip them. Like Americans have
no,
gone
because imagine paying your workers the pay that they supposed to get.
right, paying them for
Oh,
working.
wow.
But yeah, that's such a US problem. Like that's just it leads into like because then you think, who has most of those jobs?
Hmm.
It's lower income people. You know what I mean? It's so like you get into like we get into a whole very US centered like problem when we think about this. Like just pay them fairly and we can just eliminate it altogether and it can be totally optional across the board. It is, but like you don't be going out to eat if you can't you're not tipping somebody. And I saw a video of a DoorDash. It was DoorDash, I think, or Instacart.
Hmm.
He stood at this door. He banged on these people's door to try to get them to come to the door, and then called them on the phone to say, "You ain't gonna tip me." Before he finished the delivery, he just, "You ain't gonna tip me nothing," and he kicked their door and ran away.
See,
But then
now
someone in the
this how
comments was
you gonna
like,
get.
"You knew when you picked that up, it wasn't no tip on that.
That is true,
So like, why'd you pick
but
it up?"
I also have one of 'em. I can't tell you where I work at, but let's just put it this way: one of my subordinates,
Uh huh.
okay, was famous for literally ordering DoorDash, but would not add a tip. But he would see how good their delivery was, and then he would either increase it
Mm,
or he would increase it past whatever the percentage was,
right.
or he would add $1 or 2 depending on, because he's like, I'm gonna tip him no matter what. But he
Right.
was like, depending on how bad this is,
Hmm.
that's your tip. And I'm like,
That's a dangerous game to
it
play.
whatever. I got one of my delivery instructions, and this is how goofy some of these drivers are,
Yeah.
man. They don't read. It literally says in there, if you call upon arrival, additional tip.
Yeah.
Like, not even a joke.
Yeah.
You wanna know how many of them read? I swear to gosh, I probably got like a good 60-40% ratio, and I mean 40 is a percent that actually reads it.
Yeah.
And then y'all wonder why these people not why you not getting a good tip. You didn't even read my damn delivery instructions.
Right.
Because if you read them, you would have saw that I asked you to call upon arrival.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
Anywho, last but not least,
Okay.
was Noah Lyles COVID a cover up?
A
His
cover up
diag
for what?
his diagnosis, was it a cover up because he got bronze and he was bragging about coming in first on that 200? He said he was gonna come in first on that 1 and that 2.
I mean, if it's an, I would say more. If that is true, I would call that an ego protection more than a cover up. Because cover up implies to me like a whole big conspiracy.
Well,
But
I mean, he did get wheelchaired
the
off
fact
the
that
track.
he even the fact that he even ran with that is
With asthma on top of
crazy.
it.
Is insane to me. But
Um,
then again, I'm not an athlete. Never have been. You've been an athlete. If you get to the Olympics, are you going to chance it?
I mean, if I got that far and I was able
Right.
to actually
Are you
stand up
gonna?
and I'm gonna try.
Hmm,
Now, I feel like depending on my state, if I got no warm ups and I couldn't even run the warm up, I'm not running. I'm
right.
pulling out of this thing.
Mm.
However, supposedly they knew he had COVID since Tuesday. He was walking around with a mask.
Yeah, I saw they said
You got a
he
bunch
ran
of
2 days
Americans
after
that's like,
finding
I'm really
out.
not trying to believe that he would fake having COVID, but
My God, I
the
hope no one would
the
fake that.
timing of everything is really
A little
a
questionable.
little questionable.
Mm.
Um, and I think what made it worse, because like if you ran in the race and you had COVID and you just laid out there, why call for the wheelchair at the end of the wheelchair is what made it real suspect. Cause it's like, dog, you ran this whole entire race, a 100, a 200 meter. It is not like you ran a 1,500 meters, dog. You ran 200 meters around the track. Essentially, ran a half a track,
I mean,
right? And
uh,
then, wait a minute, he laid out on the ground, but he got himself up. But you need to be it. Like the wheelchair was a little bit excessive.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Now,
I
based
had
on Olympic
COVID, and
rules
let me tell y'all
in
something.
Paris, they can actually participate with COVID. It's in the rules.
Yeah, well, I mean, because now it's most they we've achieved herd immunity. I know y'all never heard about that, but like when I'm telling you, when I had it, I mean, I had it kind of like what was it right after that 1 year anniversary when it hit the U.S. or like somewhere like
Around
right
there,
around the
yeah.
time when our age, because we're millennials, became eligible to get the vaccine. I got it like right before that, so I'd have to look up when that was. I don't remember.
Hmm.
So much has happened since then, but that breath that it was hard to breathe. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but imagine having asthma on top of that. That's why I don't. I almost have trouble imagining that that's an act. Like
All I know is
he actually was dealing with
I
that.
had it twice, and that first time,
Knocked.
like the how it had took me the hell up
It was
out of
about
here.
to
You
take her
heard
out.
me,
Okay.
bruh. Oh
It
my
was about to
gosh.
take her out.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
because when I had it, and I had it when I was alone in the house with what was she, 2 years, almost three.
She was sorry, like 2.5.
So my ex was in the hospital, almost dying with it, and I was stuck at home with the baby myself. That was that was terrible. Like
Eh,
I can't
Listen,
I can't imagine he. I mean, if it's true,
but see,
absolutely.
this is
Like
the thing with the different strains. You don't know because the second
right, like
time I
which
had it
one
was
was
just like
it?
a really bad cold.
And then
Like
like
I
now
just
they
kept
say
wanting to
if
lay
you're
down.
vaccinated, it shouldn't be as bad the second time. If you should get it a second time, luckily I never
My
got it the
thing is,
second
we don't
time
know if he
after I got
vaccinated
vaccinated.
or not,
That's what I'm
and that
saying.
is
So
his
like,
right as a human not to get vaccinated if he did not want to.
and not to tell anyone if he is, but like there's like the idea that maybe because he was doing all that shit talking that this has now been released as like an ego protection. That's crazy, man.
I don't know
That's
how I feel about it.
crazy.
I hope that
That
he
thought
would
is
not
insane.
do anything like that.
Yeah, I hope
Um,
not.
and at the end of the day, dog, you still young enough to run at another
That's what
Olympics.
I was
And
thinking
next
too.
time it'll
Definitely
be in
handle that.
America. I know it didn't pan out how you wanted to. But the crazy part is we can segue right into Sha'Carri Richardson. And the reason why I'ma say this
Uh-huh.
is because she didn't even get a proper warm up for her 100. But she didn't go into that press conference and cry about it.
She did. What? I
She
didn't know she was gonna warm
she
up.
mentioned it, but it wasn't like a. And on top of that, like the news outlets, like they breezed over it, but it wasn't important enough for them to say like this is a focal point.
I
The
didn't know
fact
anything
that
about
remember
that.
her and what is the Jamaican runner? Not was it Shelly Ann Fraser Price? One of the Jamaicans also somebody couldn't warm up with something as well. Like they got held outside of the comp, like the actual. I don't know.
That's not.
Something happened and she couldn't warm up properly.
That's
We're gonna have to look it
horrible.
up. But yeah,
What?
like yeah, she didn't get to warm up properly. And she still got a bronze. So there you go.
Right. I mean, hey,
I don't know,
no, she like
but
Shakari.
no allows get to have COVID.
You know what though? I,
I
like
mean, my bad. She didn't get bronze. She got silver. Sorry.
Shakari though, she learned after not qualifying for the last ones and the circumstances under which that
Hmm.
happened, which really just all around were absolute shitty for everyone. She really, I think, just took that and was like, "There's no excuses no more." Like she was like, "I'm not. It's not excuse for nothing."
I
Because
mean,
I made the mistake. I learned my lesson. Whatever the case may be, she has owned every single thing that's happened since.
well, in hindsight, let me tell you something. Team USA, that 4x1 today, oh, they needed her. You hear me? They needed her.
Yeah,
Okay, because if they did not have Shakira, oh, we was about to be in fourth, not with a medal.
yeah, she
Okay,
she
that's all I'm gonna
absolutely.
say. Woo,
Y'all
she
better hope
ran
she.
them down.
Y'all better hope she wants to come back for a couple more because she's about to
I mean,
become.
she young, she 24, she be 28, so our lady can
Yeah.
still be good by next Olympics. She
Well,
good.
like I said, whether she wants to, will she be in the physical condition? Absolutely. Is she going to want to? I hope she does. But I'm
I
saying like
mean,
she's going to become a
things
very.
happen in life.
She's going to become an important staple if she continues in our future in our next couple of Olympic
Well,
runs.
look, Simone Biles says she 50-50. She up in the air whether or not she coming back for the next one because then she'll be 31
Or 32,
or
something like that.
32, something
Something
like
like
that.
that. Yeah.
And I guess that would also depend upon her husband. Like, are they trying to like have kids, start
Yeah.
a family, yada yada. Yada. Like, how does that go?
Right.
For her, she's still young. Um, but there's a lot of American athletes right now out there like killing the game. Like Sydney McLaughlin, Lavroni. What? Girl, you broke your own record 5 times, bro. You broke the world record once the first time, and then you turned around and broke your own record 4 more times,
Right.
and then you just broke it again 6 times, bro. In 2 Olympics back to back gold medals. She's only the second track and field Olympian to do this,
That she's become a literal example of the only competitor in the game because
bro. She's
that
just out here
is
battling herself.
insane.
And then they're talking about possibly putting her in the open four at the if she runs the next Olympics, which she probably will. She's 24, she'll be 28 by then. I guess that really is dependent upon her and her husband once again, whether or
Right.
not, they're about
Right.
to start a family and this, that, and the third. I don't know, but Allison Felix did it. She had like a kid
That I
midway
was trying to
through
think of her
the
name. Yeah,
Olympics or
she
whatever.
absolutely. Yeah.
She had a toddler the next time, her last Olympics or whatever,
Mhm.
and she killed it. They came and got them little golds or whatever.
And
Go ahead.
that made me think too of what was our volleyball team for all those years? The two of them.
Oh
They
man,
both
I
came
can't even
back their
think of.
last
Oh
couple
my
their
gosh,
last one. They both
I'm
had
trying to
weren't they
think of
didn't
their
they both
damn
have
names.
kids when they came back for the last one?
I know the one. I mean, by the time they came back for the last one, yes, but I think
They
they consecutively they was winning
they
Olympics.
were
Like I
killing
think
it.
they had like three in a damn row.
And I
Oh
think I
my
saw
gosh,
the remember I told you last night the wrestler, the woman from Maryland, I think she won.
she might have. I don't know. The U.S. has won a lot of gold
Yeah.
medals over the last. I don't know
I wonder who it
how
is.
many.
Because I
Like
think
the
it was
last two
Philippines
nights
the
was
last time I looked.
ridiculous. Because I think we even won like, oh my god, it was some random race, and then we had the long jump champion, and was it the yeah we had the long jump champion the other night,
You want to know? You want to know how many medals the U.S.
and
has?
I followed them on YouTube. Shout out to Tara Davis Woodall.
At this moment, you want to know how many medals the U.S. has?
Well, I know we over 100 for sure.
111.
Yeah, that's funny. That's our birthday. Anyway,
And then China's in second place with 83.
how many goals we got though?
33. Oh, we're tied for gold, 33 and 33.
With China.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, how is it we keep ended up neck and neck with them? Like
Yo,
that's
but
crazy.
we're
But you know what? I think they just won the 33rd one was that the breakdancing competition that was on the first breakdancing Olympics. The woman from China won the day, I believe. I think she
okay.
was from China.
Okay.
Um
They must not have tapped the proper
I
U.S.
wonder where that last chick from the US came in at. Cause I think she was in the round before the semifinals, but I don't know if she made the semis or not.
Did they tap the right markets to find the U.S. competitors? Because she knows much more about dancing than I do. I don't know if they tapped
For
the
the
right
B girl
market.
side, I haven't really seen the B boys. One of the chicks that they got logistics from hey, what is that kids crew that one World of Dance they give? She was on the kids crew. She like 21 now. Um, but yeah, she was in. I think she was slotted at like number 9, and she battled like the number 3 earlier. She got knocked out, which was wild when I was watching it because I felt like she won that first round. They tried to say she lost both rounds. They didn't want to give them that 1-1. Else it would have been another round after that. They had to go round 3. But for me, it was a 1-1. She whipped that girl butt that first round. It was a girl in a do rag that won from Lithuania. And then she went on to she ended up in the finals and she got beat by some chick from China. I think her name is Ami or I'm gonna have to look that up later.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
um,
The Olympics is. I haven't watched them as much this year as I
I
have
don't
in
know.
previous
You
years.
seen the team, the U.S. team went fencing, the
Oh,
women's
okay.
team.
Okay.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we finally got a black chick that medaled in fencing, making history out here,
Yep. Make all of it.
making all the
Make
history.
all of it. And even if it's not us, make all of it anyway.
I don't know. We probably gonna be up 2 more goals in the next couple of days because the women's and the men's team about to play in the finals. The women's team made the finals today. They beat Australia.
You mean basketball?
Was it Australia they played today? Yeah,
Yeah,
basketball.
I kind of figured.
Um,
It was the way she said it to do what she meant.
and then yeah, the men's team also plays for gold.
Okay.
So we
Yeah,
will
I'd be
see.
surprised if they don't win those.
Yeah, they got Wimby though on Paris because they play in Paris. Actually, I gotta see who the U.S. women playing. They might be playing Paris as well for real. I don't know. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um, but yeah, that's gonna be interesting to play Paris at home.
I know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but see, the only advantage right now with basketball is they get to stand inside the paint for more than 3 seconds because ain't no 3 second rule, and for the men, ain't no goaltending rule, which is what it is. Yeah, we're taking a second to figure out who the heck the U.S. women are playing, but um,
France for the women.
so they are playing Paris.
Yep.
Ha, that's funny. Ha ha. They playing France, Bobby. Now we playing France, fool.
Yeah, and France.
The women and the men both playing
Yeah,
France.
I
That's
believe so.
crazy.
Let me confirm it. Yeah.
Damn. I hope it ain't no cheating going on because both of them fit to get their butt slapped. Cause like talent wise, France does have a couple of they got a couple of NBA players on their team as well, but like y'all not just gonna be able to rely on Wimby. I know he 7 foot 12 foot 8, but listen,
That's great for the women's and the men's teams are USA and France each way.
that's hilarious.
So
Anywho,
funny.
uh, y'all gonna have to catch us later. We'll be back though with some more hot topics, whatever that
Yeah.
means. Like, comment, share,
Subscribe.
hit that noti bell.
If you're not
If you're on YouTube,
our usual, I would say our usual reminder. If you're not watching us on YouTube, we currently upload to Spotify and Amazon podcasts. We're going to be getting on to Apple soon. So if you're looking for us on YouTube, same as it's Black and White Reacts is our YouTube, but it's REACZ. So you can find us. You can watch all of our podcasts there and check out our reaction videos too while you're there.
Definitely.
Yep.
Hey, follow us on YouTube, please, if you guys are there.
Yep.
Share with your friends, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, like wherever y'all listening, like hit that share button.
Yeah.
It takes 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Right.
All right, y'all. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Peace.